Most people think billionaires live only in luxury, yachts, and nonstop vacations, but the real daily life is far more structured, disciplined, and strategic than social media shows. Behind the scenes, their days are focused on decisions, systems, meetings, and long-term thinking that maintain and grow their empire. In this video, we go inside the real daily reality of billionaires and expose what life actually looks like beyond the fantasy. Inside the life of billionaires is often misunderstood because most public perception is shaped by social media highlights, media stereotypes, and luxury-focused narratives. In reality, the daily life of billionaires is far less about constant luxury consumption and far more about structure, control, decision-making, and long-term strategic thinking. The visible wealth cars, yachts, private jets represents only a small and often superficial layer of a much more complex system centered on capital allocation and time management. At the foundation of billionaire life is extreme control over time. Unlike typical professional schedules that are reactive and task-heavy, billionaire schedules are usually designed around leverage. Every hour is treated as a resource that must either multiply capital, expand influence, or improve strategic positioning. Meetings are highly selective, often filtered through multiple layers of assistants, advisors, and management teams. The goal is not busyness, but impact per unit of time. A significant portion of daily activity revolves around decision-making rather than execution. Billionaires rarely perform operational tasks themselves. Instead, they operate as high-level decision architects. They evaluate investments, approve large-scale strategic moves, negotiate partnerships, and guide executive leadership teams. The actual execution is handled by layers of professionals, allowing them to focus on direction rather than implementation. Contrary to popular belief, many billionaires maintain surprisingly structured and repetitive routines. Mornings often begin early, with a focus on physical health, reading, or strategic review rather than indulgence. Fitness, meditation, or quiet reflection is common because cognitive performance is treated as a critical asset. Mental clarity is directly linked to financial decision quality, so lifestyle habits are optimized for sustained performance rather than short-term pleasure. Another defining aspect of billionaire life is information flow. Access to high-quality, filtered information is more important than raw data volume. Billionaires are surrounded by analysts, advisors, industry experts, and executive teams who continuously filter global information into actionable insights. This creates a decision environment where complexity is reduced into structured choices, allowing faster and more accurate strategic thinking. Wealth at this level is primarily managed through systems rather than individual effort. Assets are diversified across multiple sectors such as real estate, private equity, venture capital, public markets, infrastructure, and sometimes sovereign partnerships. This means that a large portion of daily focus is on capital allocation, deciding where money should move next for optimal growth. The lifestyle is therefore deeply connected to global economic flows rather than personal consumption. Social interaction in billionaire life is also highly strategic. Relationships are often built around business ecosystems, investment networks, philanthropic initiatives, and policy influence. While personal friendships exist, many interactions serve dual purposes: trust building and opportunity creation. Even informal gatherings can lead to significant financial or strategic outcomes. This makes social environments both personal and economically functional at the same time. Technology plays a central role in their daily operations. Billionaires rely heavily on advanced communication systems, financial dashboards, predictive analytics, and AI-driven tools to monitor global markets and business performance. This allows them to maintain real-time awareness of complex multi-billion-dollar ecosystems without direct manual involvement. The result is a highly digitized and data-driven decision environment. Despite immense wealth, many billionaires operate under high-pressure environments. The responsibility of managing large organizations, investor expectations, market volatility, and geopolitical risks creates continuous cognitive load. Decision consequences at this level are amplified, where small strategic errors can lead to massive financial impact. As a result, stress management and mental resilience are essential components of their lifestyle. Philanthropy also plays an important role in billionaire life, but it is often structured and strategic rather than purely emotional. Large-scale foundations and charitable initiatives are designed to address systemic issues such as education, healthcare, climate change, and poverty reduction. These efforts are typically managed like enterprises, with measurable outcomes, long-term goals, and professional teams. Another key reality is that billionaire life is highly network-dependent. Access to exclusive networks of investors, policymakers, entrepreneurs, and advisors significantly influences opportunities. These networks are not casual social circles, but structured ecosystems where information, capital, and influence circulate continuously. Being part of these systems often matters as much as financial capital itself. Importantly, many billionaires maintain a long-term mindset that contrasts sharply with short-term consumer culture. Decisions are often evaluated based on decades-long impact rather than immediate gain. This includes generational wealth planning, legacy building, and institutional influence. The focus is not just on earning money, but on preserving and expanding systems of wealth across time. While social media often highlights extreme luxury as the defining feature of billionaire life, the reality is more complex and less visually dramatic. Much of their time is spent in analysis, negotiation, planning, and coordination rather than consumption. Luxury exists, but it is embedded within a much larger framework of responsibility, strategy, and global influence. Ultimately, the life of billionaires is best understood not as a lifestyle of constant indulgence, but as a continuous process of managing large-scale systems. Their daily reality is defined by time leverage, decision architecture, capital allocation, and strategic positioning in a global economy. The visible symbols of wealth are only the surface layer of a much deeper structure, built on control, information, and long-term thinking. The real life of billionaires is often very different from the social media fantasy that is commonly portrayed online. While digital platforms tend to highlight luxury, private jets, yachts, and extravagant lifestyles, the actual daily reality of ultra-wealthy individuals is usually far more structured, disciplined, and business-focused. Another important aspect of their life is responsibility. With massive wealth comes equally massive accountability, including managing employees, shareholders, risks, and global operations. This creates pressure that is not always visible from the outside. Unlike the social media image of constant enjoyment, much of their time is dedicated to maintaining and growing what they have built. At the same time, billionaires do enjoy comfort and access to exclusive experiences. But these moments are typically balanced with high levels of work intensity and focus. Ultimately, the reality of billionaire life is a blend of privilege and pressure, where discipline and long-term thinking matter far more than the glamorous image often shown online. The truth is, Billionaire life is less about showing wealth and more about managing it with precision and purpose. Their success comes from structure, focus, and relentless execution. If you found this eye-opening, like this video, subscribe and turn on notifications for more real insights into wealth, mindset, and high-level living in 2026.